Timothy, I'm interested to know off the top of the bat here, when you first saw Call Me by Your Name all put together after you'd shot it and they had edited it, what was your first reaction?
Well, I got the advice to see the film before it premiered at Sundance because it would be too surreal experience to see it there for the first time. So Sundance for the first time and was totally shocked and experienced because I was watching this film that I had dedicated, 3 months, but really, had been a build-up for 3 years to, with 1,100 people for the first time. So I wasn't able to really actually see it and appreciate it for what it was. But when I saw it a month later, it was at another film festival. That time I got to see myself in a Luca Guadagnino film, and what that means is to be in a boundaryless expression of an idea, the way in I Am Love, Tilda Swinton has a very famous love-making sequence in the grass. It's kind of a combination of nature and a celebration of love. And within this film, this boundaryless theme lends itself to just a pure celebration of love, where there's, guys with guys and guys with girls and guys with peaches. And it's simply in the name of, like I said, purely celebrating joy, purely celebrating love without an ounce of cynicism, and finding all the joy in love, but also, treating it with the heartbreak that also often accompanies love, and not extinguishing it, as Michael Stuhlbarg's character says, but actually delicately nurturing it and savoring the experience for what it was, which is kind of how I think of the film.
We were interviewing Luca just a few minutes ago, and he said it wasn't a difficult search that they for this title character, for the main character, they fell in love with you right from the beginning, and it was your role. Why were you such a great fit, do you feel, for this particular character?
Well, there, to some extent, I have a European background. My father's French, so I speak French, and so I think a small town understanding of European life in such a way that was specific to France, but there's a European sensibility that I guess wouldn't be as instinctual to other American actors. And also I've done a lot of stage work at a young age, and I already handled some lead roles and things. So I think that was attractive to Luca as a filmmaker, particularly because with younger actors, often you don't really know what you're getting unless you're Brooklyn Prince and Florida Project and you're like the greatest revelation in the last 30 years. That movie is awesome.
Don't promote other movies. You're shooting.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble.
She's not in your category for awards, so you're okay there.
Exactly. Well, yeah, sure. I think we're up.
The movie's set in 1983. What's it like being on set and you're reliving a time frame that was long before you were even around?
Well, it feels like a responsibility, first and foremost, to everybody from that time period, to fans of the book that lived in that time period. And certainly as an actor, I'm not the biggest purist about these things. The parts of yourself as a human that, bleed appropriately into the character, I think are always fine. But when you're going period, you do have to be careful about, not doing anything that's contemporaneous or would strike, most importantly, like I said, somebody who lived through the 80s or a fan of the book, is false or unreal.
And now that you've worked with Luca and you've spent those weeks with him, what is he doing? He's such an incredible filmmaker. What's he doing that you've seen up close that maybe other directors aren't doing? Why is he so good?
Because similar to like the boundaryless expression of that love takes within the film, that it's not defined, that the house is a character in as much as a human is a character, in as much as the food is a character, and they all feed each other, and it's very unclear. As a filmmaker, he very much he desires his actors, he desires the set design, he desires a cinematographer. So more than anything, you lose any sort of anxiety about, oh, does this guy think I'm any good? I mean, he doesn't read his actors. I was 17 and he attached me, and I really hadn't been in anything yet. And that gives you, a tremendous sense of belief in yourself, because you think, okay, this guy really knows what he's doing because his other movies are incredible, and he wants me to be in this one. And he clearly has little reservations about it. He was so confident on set, he'd roll his eyes at me, but like he could, he could be on his phone he'd be on his phone setting up a shot because he just knew so specifically what he wanted. So I'll be like, the name of the game for me at a young age, and particularly as someone that's not very well known, people watching this probably have no idea who I am, but it's just to, keep working with great directors, telling great stories, working on roles that are challenging and complex, and push the boundary in such a way that it's not believable, or that it's not believable, but rather just new and exciting. And I think about, Lucas Hedges, Manchester by the Sea, or I just saw The Killing of the Sacred Deer with an actor named Barry Keoghan in it. It's a little bit older than me, and these are like young performances that are extremely inspiring to me, which is exciting. I don't know. It's like it's, as a young actor, you can often be the son or the brother in a family. So, dealing with roles of substance and and that are complex, it's a great gift.
A couple of the things about your role, I'm guessing you had to learn. You said you already were speaking French, but did you have to learn to speak Italian?
That's exactly. I mean, they're both romance languages, so the syntax, the grammatical structure is similar. The conjugations are different. Some of the rules are different. So, I work with an Italian tutor an hour and a half every day leading up to the film, just trying to get the structure right. And certainly that helped even in the common conversation in town, getting espressos, things of that nature, ordering spaghetti. But I would maybe have approached it a little bit differently. And certainly if I work in a dialect that's not, or a language that's not my own in another film, I think I would memorize it phonetically as opposed to, really trying to tackle it as a language, because there's a reason, languages take years to learn. And certainly, the piano playing, I work with a really brilliant Italian composer. His name is Roberto Solci, and he's very well respected in that region of Italy. And we worked on the Ravel and the Bach about an hour and a half every day. And he lives in the apartment right underneath Luca's, and he has a big oil painting of himself composing above his piano. So not every day you have that experience in New York. So I was happy to be there.
And Armie Hammer, I'm sure you were already familiar with his work before you did this movie. What's he like opposite him, acting in scenes?
It's, for a young actor, it's the biggest gift in the world, because particularly with the spontaneous nature of this story and the way these characters play out, there are a lot of actors his age, of Armie's stature, that could have, brought some sort of ego, or would have just been less generous with their acting and their humanity. And I learned so much from Armie as an actor before I ever worked with him. Watching The Social Network with Andrew Garfield, Jesse Eisenberg, Dakota Johnson, Rooney Mara. I mean, that's like the generation above me. They really set the tone for us, newcomers, on what is really boundary pushing filmmaking. But then working with him too. I mean, they're just experience, I think, in life, but particularly in filmmaking and acting, is the greatest teacher. And there's just some habits that Armie has, or Steve Carell, who I just worked with on Beautiful Boy. You just that come with years. And you can try to pick it up as the new guy, but it's just tough. I mean, it comes rightfully with the passage of time. So, and then just as a man, I mean, Armie's become one of my best friends. Just the way he carries himself as a husband and a father. The roadmap for male actors can be a little suspicious at times. Just as it is for any artist. I think in any business, it can be hard to be financially sustainable and mentally sound at the same time while making great work. And yet Armie is, by luck of the universe or something, I've been presented with a roadmap that is very much very attractive as a family man. And that was my experience working with Steve too last spring.
We enjoyed seeing you at the Hollywood Film Awards the other night. You got the Breakthrough Performer of the Year award. What are you ready for this awards track where you're at every event, every reception, all these red carpets? Are you excited about that?
Well, look, it's a day at a time, and what the experience of this shooting this film is the cake. And what I learned as an actor, I really came of age as an actor, even as an adult in many ways. I went there. I went there in one position. I came back with this film under my belt. That's the stuffing. The reception at Sundance and all that. That was like the icing on the cake. And now this stuff now that you're alluding to, I mean, that would be so appreciated. But it really, like you say, wait, what's it going to be like being on this track? I really don't assume any sort of track. To assume it at 21 and to assume it, 2 years out of a play audition that might have gone wrong or something, or that I didn't get, that seems surreal or something. So, day at a time.
Well, we're an awards website, so we love asking these awards questions. I just told Luca, and I'll tell you, if James Ivory wins an Oscar for his screenplay, he'll be the oldest Oscar winner ever.
Oh.
You could be the youngest Best Actor winner ever. What do you think about those kind of scenarios?
Well, I think James is long overdue for
He is. It should have happened a long time ago. His films are incredible.
Certainly to claim to have been, to have been around them contemporaneously would be a flat out lie. But I mean, this man created a genre of filmmaking almost, and had Daniel Day-Lewis and Helena Bonham Carter as discoveries, and not the titans that they are. So I would be, to get to be a part of the the James Ivory train that finally gets its recognition. That would be the greatest honor or thing I can imagine related to this experience.
And that question I said about you being the youngest Best Actor winner ever, you kind of glossed over that.
Yes, I'm getting more savvy at these things. No, I'm kidding. Look, I really mean it when I say with the experience of doing this, what it was, in addition to just what it has already, the way it's been received, or even like a project like Beautiful Boy, Jeremy Kleiner and Felix Van Groeningen, the producer and the director on that, they had a chance to see Call Me by Your Name before they ever cast me in that. So in relation to projects like that, it has already helped so much again. So to be just included in the conversation with these legends, I mean, guys I've been studying and watching very closely for years, that's already insane to me. The idea that it would go any further than that is preposterous. Yeah.
I understand. You don't want to jinx it, but listen, we do this for a living, and I think we're going to be seeing you on a lot of red carpets over the next few months.
It's supposed to be fingers crossed, and it ended up looking like an alien disfiguration. But
it's harder to do on a computer camera.
Yeah, on a webcam.
Listen, thanks so much. Thanks for bringing us, you and Luca and everybody, such a great film for us to see this holiday season.
Thank you for showing it love, and the desire is for it to be seen by as many people as possible, and hopefully it will.